All the World's A Psyop. This is part 4. Misspoke earlier and said it was the going to be part 3. Of course, we're in part 4. Just going to basically wrap this whole thing up with the understanding that we have a deception going on through the media. It's been predictively programmed in cinema. You can look in the movies, Total Recall, other movies where false events become reality and people believe them. The world is not as it seems, and we have this interfaith connection going in there, especially like with Sandy Hook, where they brought everyone together. Oh, it's so beautiful, and this like very religious type speech from this guy who is again a shill, a liar, a false prophet, as we were warned about, there being so many, to bring us together and to bring us into love. All these things sound wonderful and great. I mean, who doesn't want to be brought together? Who doesn't want love? Who doesn't want to have peace? Who doesn't want to have all of this? Well, the United Nations has been talking about peace for 70 years. How much peace has it brought? Are we in peaceful times? They don't want to even call terrorism terrorism. They don't even want to call out evil when they see it, when it appears. So we must be wary, ladies and gentlemen, of the world and what we're shown by the media and by pop culture and in the movies, and be very, very, very cautious about believing anything without first really looking at it through a different perspective, through your own eyes, through an alternative corroboration. And we don't do that. I know, because I was one of you. I was mind controlled by this system. By the grace of God, I woke up in about 2008 and a half, 2009. But I voted for Obama. I voted for this change we can believe in and all of this. And I was caught up in the in the propagandized hype. And again, I can only say that God has saved me. And all that I can do and all that I'm compelled to do is to alert you that this is the truth, that we are being brought into the worst, most horrible tyranny in all of humanity. Gnostics, Luciferians, Masonic Satanists are all working to bring in this new world order, this one world Gaia religion, this new age religion. And make no mistake about it, we're in the thick of it. And unless you want your children, your grandchildren, to be enslaved, worse than the Pharaoh's enslavement of the Jews in the book of Exodus, to get the freedom to be expelled from bondage, we are all slaves. And we must rise up and take back our freedom that has been taken from us. We've had it, and we're willingly giving it up. And I won't stand for it. I will not let my son grow up in a world where he is enslaved, or have my grandchildren be enslaved, or my great-grandchildren, or my great-great-grandchildren, or my great-great-great-grandchildren. They will all know what freedom means and liberty. Death to the New World Order.
Heavenly worlds. Therefore, be thou not disconsolate. Do not languish. Do not sigh, neither wail nor weep, for agitation and mourning deeply affect the soul.
Do not weep.
Their soul.
Do not mourn. What kind of Satanism is this?
O thou kind mother and father,
Listen to this Satanism.
send divine providence that I have been freed from a small and gloomy cage.
Father Lucifer.
And like the birds of the meadows,
Father Lucifer.
have soared to the divine world, a world which is spacious, illumined, and ever illumined. Therefore, lament not, O Mother and Father, and be not grieved. I am not of the lost, nor have I been obliterated and destroyed.
This is the most disgusting evil, disguised as good, that can be perpetrated upon justice and humanity.
Everlasting companionship. Thou shalt find me in the heaven of the Lord.
O thou kind Mother and Father, thank divine providence that I have been freed from a small and gloomy cage. What I see here is the creation of a death culture, the shaping of a mass attitude of accepting loss, embracing hardship, seeking to climb ever higher and find ever more meaning in and from calamity. Newtown strong, Boston strong, Sandy Hook chooses love. The 9/11 chorus was, "We will never forget." The chorus from today's survivors is, "Love thine enemy. We are all one. Let's get each other the right kind of help." These thoughts in and of themselves are admirable, but when they're born of a global agenda to keep the people calm and quiet as they suffer loss, they're a whole different ball of wax. We are leaving behind the competition over lifestyle and money, and entering a competition themed around forgiveness and love. Who can be the most giving and loving? The Sandy Hook Fund and the Boston Fund have brought in millions of dollars, as well as a flood of toys, candles, and mementos. The outpouring is possibly another type of social engineering, demonstrating support and love in the form of material donations that in their own way appear to be a kind of capitalization. On the surface, it looks like thousands feel for the bereaved and are reaching out to them. But I wonder if this too is a show in 2D. Do you know anyone who sent money or gifts to Newtown? I don't. So, the battle for our minds has now become a battle for our hearts. What if Transition Newtown is a transition society model, a real live experiment in disaster with a built-in Agenda 21 social response, the coordinated behavior of public and professionals on all levels of life, including post-crisis observation and management. This is why you see a volunteer fire crew setting up Christmas trees. This is why holy people from all religions flock to Sandy Hook to bring consolation and counseling. This may be why the donation funds themselves were set up days in advance, another much discussed issue among YouTubers. Sandy Hook may have been a momentous, game-changing drill, a new kind of 9/11 set on a smaller but much tighter stage. Watch this video.
The town of Sandy Hook might simply be a CIA military intelligence nest, similar to Langley, Virginia, but without the official headquarters, a town with a high concentration of members of the intelligence community among its residents.
People here. We're also been reporting on the school itself, David, and I'll just tell you that this is a very special school, and I mean that in the terms of honored and an honored school, a school where people in fact moved to Newtown so they could go have their children go to this school. In fact, parents often had longer commutes, but they wanted to live here because the school was so good and the teachers had such a great reputation.
People have remarked at the number of black and silver cars at the school and around the firehouse. Normal American families have cars of all colors.
This is very true.
Also,
what a weird, so many weird things with Sandy Hook. Stay tuned.
Why so many government-type black and silver vehicles? And there's a report from a local that they showed up as early as 8 a.m. These are screenshots from a YouTube video of helicopter footage from December 14th that shows 68 black and silver cars at the firehouse, 92 around the school. That's 160 total. We all know the tale of the children who fled the school and came to Jean Rosen's lawn, where they sat down and repeated that they couldn't go back to school, their teacher was dead. Over and over, Jean Rosen told news reporters this story, adding that he invited them in for juice and cookies and called their parents to pick them up. Everyone on YouTube was indignant about this, demanding to know why Jean Rosen didn't call the police and how he could have been wandering around the firehouse in the videos if he was sheltering children at his own house. Well, here is a short clip from Jean Rosen that might explain the context of what was going on.
And I came to the children, and they were crying and wailing and mortified, and there was a school bus driver with them, and I invited them into the house, and they were just practicing.
Then I found the very same interview with "they were just practicing" completely taken out. So this version that I'm going to play you is a slightly different arrangement, and it also contains the mention of a skit.
Did you have any idea that something was wrong?
I had no idea. I thought they were doing a skit, or maybe they were Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts, because they were sitting so nicely.
In yet another part or level of the drill, the practicing of being interviewed. In the editing room, lines and phrases from the interviews are shuffled around, and this is how the 2D story gets its quote-unquote witnesses. We can call this 2D plus, when 2D goes live. It did not escape the notice of YouTubers that a black Honda, very similar to the one found at the school, said to have been driven by the shooter, could be seen in Jean Rosen's driveway. It had a towel over the left front window, which suggests broken glass. The wheel rims are identical to those of the Honda Civic towed from the school. Perhaps this black Honda Civic was used in an earlier drill at the school, and its window was broken, as the drills are designed to simulate real life. Now, the Rosen house is right next to the firehouse, and it's also on a hill, allowing a clear view into the school parking lot. So could it be that the Rosen house was like a crow's nest, an observatory, a strategic center even for the event? A local reported that Jean Rosen was seen driving a black car on the morning of December 14th. And teacher Lauren Rousseau's car, shot with bullets that somehow went through the school walls, was also a Honda Civic. So perhaps Honda Civics were supplied for these drill scenarios. Large-scale exercises coordinate many kinds of groups, which in official language are known as partners. Drills are now regularly conducted in schools, including active shooter drills. They are large reality drills involving police, fire, EMTs, school staff, students, and even local residents. Watch this clip from back in 2007.
This is an opportunity for the Connecticut State Police to take the training that we have and integrate it with other first responding agencies.
In a real event, we would have these resources deployed.
From students and teachers to local police, everyone in town is playing a vital piece in the puzzle.
He's heading out the east-northeast side.
The scenario: two armed men have stormed the building, injured students, and have hostages.
Joining room, full here. Come out.
We join the state police's highly trained TAC team as they search for the assailants.
In 21st century policing, the first responders are trained now to react to the situation, to not only react, but to actively get involved in stopping the aggression.
This is the largest exercise of its kind ever put on in the state. Over 150 police, EMS, and firefighters.
It's about everybody coming together, working together, and making everything go well and make sure everybody that is involved in the incident is safe.
Be advised, hostage has